Once again, it's on, and you are here, maybe on your phone, with the role players. As always, I am role player B. I always call myself. I don't know. And I am here with Mr. Know-It-All, Jay, and he always gets his due diligence. I never switch it up because he is the all-knowing philosophical Jay. And you know where to find us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and a plethora of other platforms for podcasting. If you didn't know, shoot us a line on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Jay, man, oh man, it has been one heck of a week. I mean, from just basketball, well, NBA specifically, blowing up in teams' faces like the Clippers. What a wash. The PS5 being I wouldn't say debut, but an official date for the PS5. And pre-orders were bonkers. And then it's just going right along into football weekend with college and NFL. We have a lot on the slate, but man, we're going to make it one heck of a show. Jay, thanks for joining me once again. And how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to get back at it, man. My football team took one on the chin, and
oh yeah,
I'm ready to get back at it for this weekend, man. I've been waiting for this weekend since last weekend.
Buddy, that's been a long week for you and a short one for me because my Jaguars did the thing. Okay, they did the thing.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, man. I was looking, through all of my content today to just, try to round out the show as far as topics. And I got a notification that said top 10 rookie power rankings. Never had heard of the damn thing. And I said, well, I'm going to take a look. And 3 Jaguars are on the rankings. C.J. Henderson at number 4. Laviska Shenault at number 5. And James Robinson, I believe, at number 9. So we're out there with the young squad. And it continued to Sunday. I don't know. We played Derrick Henry. He's known to be our juggernaut. So I don't know if it'll continue, man. But good luck to you, against the Jets up there in the Meadowland.
No, we're going to get healthy this week.
That's the only way to do it when you play the Jets, my friend.
Yeah, man, we're going to get healthy.
Man, you got to get healthy against the Jets, But moving into some basketball, Giannis Antetokounmpo has done the unthinkable and maybe the unpredictable. He won MVP for the second year in a row. He has won MVP. Now, I know you may be listening and you're probably like, well, that's BS or they cheating. So a lot of Bron heads or Bronites think that it should have gone to LeBron James because LeBron is the prodigal son of the NBA. He is the second coming for the first time. He's everything since sliced bread. So everyone is going to bat for LeBron. I'm going to just tell you straight. I think the MVP award went to the right man. Because Giannis, I mean, isn't it called the most valuable player award? So let me make sure I get it right, because I don't want to do this wrong. So LeBron and his team won 52 games. Giannis and his team won 56 games, 56 and 17, and then 52 and 19 for the Lakers. Giannis is the end all be all for the Bucks. I don't care how you write it up. I don't care. I don't care how you post it. He is the end all be all for the Bucks. Now I know you're saying, well, what about Bron? Because if it wasn't for him, the Lakers wouldn't be there. You're true. You're right. They would not be there. But they do have Anthony Davis. And according to all you Bronites and you Laker heads, that's just suddenly been resurrected out of the mud this year, you say Anthony Davis is like top 5 NBA player. Jay, am I wrong?
He probably is top 5. He is top 5.
Well, what do you know?
NBA. Yeah, he's top 5. I got to give him top 5, man.
Jay, what are your thoughts on it before I rip these Bronites a new one?
Okay, so my thoughts on this, and you know, I can actually relate to this because Steve Nash got 2 consecutive point guard. He was a point guard. He got 2 consecutive MVPs in a row, correct?
Yeah.
And he deserved every last one of them. Because when he didn't play, it was a different game. When he left off the floor, it was like, oh man, what the hell we doing? So the Greek freak has freaked everybody out again. Because everybody wants to get it. I mean, for years, Kobe could have got it every year. Jordan could have got it every year. Shaq could have got it every year. For the second consecutive season, I have to give it to Giannis because he has absolutely nothing he's playing with up there. I mean, Bledsoe makes the big money, but he's not big money on the court. And what do you think? How do you think Middleton is as far as, because he's a small forward, correct? Small forward, power forward, stretch forward.
He's a guy. That's his position.
Yeah, he's probably not top 5 in his position.
He's probably
so
not.
I have to go with him being the MVP. And I'm curious of how this winter, because it's not the summer. Winter is coming. Ain't that your show?
Winter is coming.
It's coming. Yeah, winter is coming for the Milwaukee Bucks, and it came 3 weeks earlier than what it should be. I want to see how things are going to shake up there, because he's saying he is openly saying he's pulling the star move. Oh, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. This is my home. We've heard that story before, right?
Yeah, I think I actually heard it from LeBron James.
Yeah, man. So I think I don't know another player in the NBA could have gotten that. Because LeBron was the Greek last year. LeBron was the Greek freak, right? And he couldn't get his team to the playoffs.
Could not.
So I got to go with the Greek freak. And I mean, for what it worth, they got upset. But I just, because I'm watching Miami now, man. And Miami, they're up 2-0. But do you really think they'll be up 2-0 if they had to go to Boston? If they'd have played those 2 games in Boston?
Oh, without a doubt. They'd be down. If we were playing at home courts in front of fans, if those games were being played regularly, without a doubt, Miami would be down, man. They'd be down 2-0. It wouldn't happen.
I'll give them a split 1-1.
No, Jay. No. We're talking about Boston.
But I mean, I had a debate with someone earlier this week, and I said, Tyler Hero and these other guys, Duncan Robinson, they wouldn't be playing like that if they was playing in some of these arenas. You know what I mean? If they wouldn't be playing like that. Like Goran Dragic has been a great playoff point guard at home, but on the road is when he has failed. I know that handedly because he was with the Suns. So I gotta roll with Giannis, Greek freak the Greek.
You know, just to clarify this a little bit more, Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year as well. So the guy he's taking care of business. It's not just like, hey, we're giving it to the player with the most wins. No. And I know a lot of you will look at it and say, well, okay, so he won Defensive Player of the Year. Well, he's playing in the East. Okay, LeBron's in the West. And he's doing it with another top 5 player. You have to remember that. This team is being lifted on the shoulders of Giannis. And then I know you're probably saying, well, LeBron went further in the playoffs. That. It's not about the playoffs. It's about the regular season. So if Giannis was the king of the 57 games that he won, or however many games they played, 60, 70 something games, if he was the king of those 70 something games, then let him be the king of that. LeBron has a clear path at the title. Nobody's in LeBron's way. Now, if he goes out there and flops, I don't want to hear no chit chatter anymore. Because he can flop, because I think Jay said it best. If these games were being played in arenas, Staples Center, up there in the Garden, if it's being played in front of the fans, a lot of these guys would collapse. But they're not. So everyone's on an even ground. And if everyone's on an even ground, that means the Lakers by default is the best team right now. But I think the Clippers and Mr. MVP show that just because you're on even ground or you have the better team, supposedly, doesn't mean you're going to beat the other team, because everyone is on even ground. You have Doc Rivers over there crying a river. Giannis had to walk away with the KG. That's for all my old schoolers out there that remembers KG's final press conference with the Timberwolves. Wasn't that thing just sad, man?
Yeah, it was. But I got a spin for you.
Spin it.
And then we can move on. I think that the MVP is somewhat based off of playoffs as well. Because they took him away. Miami neutralized Greek Freak. And they weren't able to score points and win ball games. I mean, they took this guy away. They basically played what would be a boxing one in the NBA. They doubled them. They played the zone. They showed him a lot of different fronts. And he wasn't able to get those easy buckets at the rim, those layups and those putbacks. They took him away and they said, hey, beat us with the other guys. And that's essentially what happened. To me, I don't even think LeBron's number 2 in the MVP race. I think it would be Kawhi.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When Paul George didn't show up in the playoffs, the Clippers did not have a good game. But every time Kawhi scored and he got help from Paul George, they would win. And he was just gassed. A lot of people was laughing at him because he said, well, Clippers, we was tired. That's part of the reason we lost. He was gassed, man. He couldn't give it all. So he would be second in the MVP voting because he is most valuable to his team. Like you said, if LeBron tweaks a hammy tonight, they can still win. They still have Anthony Davis.
Right.
Greek Freak tweaked his ankle, and it was like, oh, this is over. Just something to think about, man.
Yeah. And if I had to call the MVP race, I would say it goes to Chris Paul because he was dead to rights. Didn't have a chance. We were supposed to be looking at Chris Paul and the Thunder in the lottery selection, saying, could they land a number 1, 2, or 3 pick? Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so where's the love for Christopher Paul? Because I don't see it. I don't hear it. And I'm not saying it just because he's from the great city of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Chris Paul should have had the say-so in the vote to where it says, oh, well, that's number 1. He's the most valuable to his team. I'm just saying, man. That's all I'm saying. They got me riled up today, Jay. They got me live today. They got me live.
I feel you, man. I'm a little live too, man.
I'm glad, man. The great thing about being live is you're exposed. And no one's getting more exposed than college football right now. Because, man, this thing is dreadful, man. It's dreadful. Now, I'm a fan of college football, but let's be real. College football is probably the second most electrifying sport on the planet next to soccer or football, as a lot of you may call it. I hope I said it right. But I call it soccer, FIFA. But college football, I mean, you have tons of fans, thousands of fans in the stadium, the band playing, cheerleaders, mascots, the crazies. You have Lee Corso. You have all of the top talent in the nation finally playing on the gridiron, and they're battling for collegiate success. Who can be number 1, 2, 3, 4 to battle their way to the playoffs? And none of that existed. Jay, are you feeling it, man? What's your take on it?
I'm interested.
Really?
You're not? I mean, I am, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm interested, man. And maybe I missed it. I know the Big Ten yesterday was supposed to announce. Did they ever announce that they were gonna come back and play?
Yeah, I believe they announced it. I can't think of what the date was right off the top of my head.
Yesterday morning they were talking, and they said later on the day we're going to announce it. I never seen an official announcement come across, so I'm just assuming that's what we're rolling with those guys starting up October 24th. So I'm interested because I want to see who can really coach. You get my drift?
Yeah.
It's a lot of circumstances that they're going through. And let's just call it what it is, man. These college football coaches, we really don't get this from college basketball or college baseball. They talk about having the workouts during the off season, but it's not as tense as college football. I mean, college football start in February, March. They're doing spring games. Then they take a little break. They take a lot of time from the college football players. That's why they don't have preseason and scrimmages. Then they play those first games, and it may be Alabama against Alabama Tech. You know what I mean? Now you're jumping straight into meaningful games. And these college guys have what? A rosters be like 100 guys. And then they don't dress out 45 guys. They red shirt 10, 15 guys. They don't dress a certain number out. And they only let them come to home games. They have to sit in the stands, things like that. Now you have to coach. You get my drift?
I get your drift, but I don't know, Jay. I mean, like,
You're not. When does Virginia Tech start playing?
that's a great question because the game that was scheduled for next weekend has been pushed to December. So I'm not quite sure when Virginia Tech plays. I would like to see them play, but thanks to COVID, I don't know. I've been trying to keep up with it, but every game keeps getting pushed back. So to my knowledge, they're going to start to play, I believe, 2 weeks.
September 26th, correct?
That one got pushed back as well. So that'll be the first game, but the Virginia game has gotten pushed back again.
Yeah, that one was pushed back to the December 12th.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, Jay. Now,
So
I'm here to.
did you hear about UNC and UNC Charlotte this weekend?
I think it got canceled.
It got canceled. Now, this is what is question. This is what's alarming me. Okay. At UNC Charlotte played App State last weekend.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Their game has not been postponed.
Hmm.
They are playing Marshall tomorrow at 3:30. So what baseball was doing, that team tested positive, correct?
Yeah.
And the team they were facing that they played last, they shut those guys down too, right? App State hasn't shut anything down. The NCAA didn't say, okay, App State, you got to shut down for protocol. So if UNC Charlotte had 4 guys that tested positive and they say, you know what, we're not going to play this weekend, why isn't App State doing the same thing?
Something's fishy in the sea, man. Now that's a good call, Jay. That's a good look. Because if we're going about this the correct way now, I don't want to bury the lead here because I was going in on the lack of excitement for college football. But if we're doing the whole, hey, we're supposed to be playing within our state to limit spreading COVID, and we're going to take necessary precautions to prevent it from spreading. If UNC Charlotte played them and they're not playing this weekend, then at the very least, you would have to make it known that all of App State players have been cleared. Now, I don't know because I haven't heard anything about that, but you, my friend, you just made waves. You just made waves. Yeah. So, and I'm not seeing anything on the web saying that they've been cleared or anything like that. Now, surprisingly, I do see that they do have a cluster of 7 cases reported in an App State dorm. So it is alive and thriving at Appalachian State. But what's the deal, NCAA? Are we just kind of putting things under the rug? Or are we testing these guys and doing what's necessary to make sure everyone's protected? Because if App State plays, what'd you say, Marshall?
They're playing Marshall tomorrow at 3:30.
It sounds like the Doomsday pill has been put into play.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I like my fish cooked. But this right here just sounds raw.
I like my fish cooked and I like it well done.
No pink meat, man. You gotta live a little today. You gotta live a little. I think the craziest thing I tasted is raw tuna wrapped in seaweed.
Hold up, man. Are you serious? You're serious?
Raw tuna wrapped in seaweed.
I mean, you better be lucky you didn't catch E. coli or something, man.
Hey, there's a million fish in the sea, but there's only one for me. And I made it through. Okay.
You may not be that lucky next time, brother.
Well, you get when you do that, you have to be by the coast. I did it right there in Miami. It was perfect. No harm, no foul. LeBron took his talents to South Beach, so I said, why not me? And I live to tell the tale. But I don't know if too many players are going to be able to tell the tale of playing too many games in NCAA football, because it sounds like the Doomsday Pill has been put into play. That's crazy, because like I say, I was coming into this thing, Jay, saying, oh man, college football is lacking the excitement. I was ready to
excitement, but we haven't had the big dogs, which is the SEC, play football yet. So that's part of the thing. That's part of it as well. And it's really just been blah. But what alarmed me was when I seen that they postponed that football game in App State. And so I just found something else out a few minutes ago when you said that App State had cases, lots of cases floating around. And I said, really? So I wonder if the App State players tested positive and gave it to the UNC Charlotte players. The App State hasn't said anything. They haven't said, hey, we tested our players, everything came back fine. It's just like, hey, we're going to play anyway. Don't say anything. That's what the Marlins did, remember?
Ooh-wee. Do I remember? Yeah, I remember very well. I don't know, man. This is something worth looking into. So, hey, if you know anything about what's going on with the whole UNC Charlotte, App State, and now App State still going on to play, but UNC Charlotte has been canceled, let us know. But here's the thing, Jay. Now, it just hit me. UNC Charlotte may be canceled, not because of UNC Charlotte, but it may be canceled because of UNC Chapel Hill. That may also be the thing. That might be the mystery of it all, because UNC Chapel Hill, they're about in the same boat as NC State. And things have just been too hairy around those parts to run a comb through.
It says Charlotte versus number 12 UNC game canceled due to 49ers quarantine. Or 49ers quarantine would be the UNC Charlotte.
Well, hey, I'm not an investigator. I'm a podcaster. So again, if y'all know anything about this out there, you gotta let us know. I want the deets. I want it, man. Let us know what's going on. Maybe we need to get an anonymous guest on the show, you know? Sounds interesting a bit. I don't know. Maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Here I was talking about college football isn't exciting, and this is exciting as hell.
Yeah, it just took a whole new spin, didn't it?
It did, because this, okay, now I know I was joking, but this is serious.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. If anybody knows about that, let us know, man. Let us know, because that can get some people into some hot water and hot seats. You just don't want to play with that.
What's crazy is, what if UNC Charlotte wouldn't have revealed that, hey, we had a couple positive tests among our football players and went and played UNC? That would have shut down the ACC football season.
Yeah, that would have. Yeah, you know, that's all it's going to take is for one of the major conferences, one of the Big Five, to just get a hit like that, and then it's going to be sayonara college football.
Right.
Well, if we have to say goodbye to college football, we'll always have NFL football, because it's been so fantastic. It's been great, man.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dun, 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 dun. So in my best Chris Berman impersonation, I'm going to say that we have a few coaches on the hot seat. someone's sizzling.
All right.
Someone's gonna get what?
Man.
So yeah, it's rumors circling, whirling, cycloning, tornadoing around the NFL rumor mill that it's two coaches on the hot seat. So, Jay, I'm going to let you do the honors. Who are these mystery men?
Adam Gase has been a dumpster fire. First of all, he is living off of coaching Peyton Manning for a brief stint.
Ooh.
Because everywhere he's landed, when he leaves the building, the team does better are the players. He was supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. He was the quarterback coach in San Francisco. Soon as he left, Alex Smith game started going crazy. He turned into a different quarterback. Tannehill just got paid. He left Adam Gase. Now it's all kind of troubles going on in the Jets locker room, and this guy name keeps surfacing. So the rumor is they want to replace this guy. They're trying to give him an opportunity, dig himself out of his own grave. Because let's just face it, it's too early in the season to be to be removing your coach. I mean, week 2, but man, that was horrific last week against Buffalo. And going into this week, you got a mad 49er team coming into town. So man, they have got to strike. And Jamison Crowder is out of that game. So I don't know who in the hell he's going to throw the ball to. We got Frank Gore running the ball. It's a train wreck in New York. But as I jump on New York jet, that is, and fly down south, I get off of my jet and I take a ride to Mercedes-Benz on an Atlanta Falcon. And
oh my goodness.
Bringing Dan Quinn to the table. They was upset, highly upset. Arthur Blank was highly upset of week 1 coming out and Russell Wilson coming into the Mercedes-Benz, which might I add, he's paying a lot for that venue. And Russell Wilson had a career day. So it just seemed like the same old Atlanta Falcon team that we always see. We hear about them in training camp. Yeah, they're having a good training camp. They're ready for this. Then they come out and they lay a Falcon dirty egg. So the story is they have to have a big game this week against Dallas. And Matt Ryan has never won in Dallas. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So the fix is in.
Well, if it's two guys that's going to get fired, those make the most sense. The only other one that I could think of is Matt Patricia. And it's just too early for Matt Patricia, But those guys, they were supposed to be fired at the end of last season. And everyone was like, well, hey, they survived another season. They survived another Black Monday. They survived to coach another season, but it looks like it may only be a few games. And, I'm going to go ahead and say fire them. Fire both of them. Because this Jets team, they've been trying to get it on the straight and narrow for too long. It's gone down a hole that you can't come out of. The whole Le'Veon Bell thing, the whole Sam Darnold thing, catching mono, and then that derailed last season before the season was really derailed anyway. They can't seem to produce anything on the field. We're all the way down to old man Gore. Like how is this even taking place? It just seems as if Adam Gase he doesn't have a good handle on the team, and then switching it over to the Falcons, it's just time for him to go. It's just time. They've been losing under him since Shanahan left out of the building, and that's been some years now. And they should have one of the better offenses in the National Football League, in which they may do, but it stutters so much and produces so little. And the defense should be there, but it never shows up. And you're always looking at a Falcon team that's hovering around 8-8, 9-9, 9-8, 9-7. I'm sorry. And it's just like they can't get it done. Like, what is that all about? It's time for a change. I would say go ahead and axe them, get them out of there, and just roll with it, whatever happens. Because for the Jets, if you go ahead and knock off Gage, I don't know. You may be sitting there for Trevor Lawrence, and he looked good in his debut, by the way, facing off against that Demon Deacon team.
That would be perfect. That would be a perfect fit for the Atlanta Falcons.
Same for Atlanta. You know, Atlanta, if they do bad enough, you can get Trevor Lawrence, and then you can figure out where to ship Matt Ryan to, because I don't know if it's ever going to happen for Matt Ryan. I don't know.
Man, can you imagine Trevor Lawrence with the plethora of weapons that the Atlanta Falcons has receiving?
But what about if they don't get Trevor Lawrence? What if Trevor Lawrence does go to the Jets, and then you bring Justin Fields back home?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just right up the Falcons' alley. That would be perfect case scenario for both of those guys. I know Trevor Lawrence is the Southern guy as well, but he's on his way to stardom. And what better place than New York?
So
and Justin Fields, he's made for Atlanta, man.
He is, man. He looks like a Falcon. So, real quick, what you laughing at? Because I said he looks like a Falcon.
You're terrible, man, and I am too.
He does. Look at the logo and look at him. He looks like the Falcon. So, real quick, with COVID going on and you knowing that you have the season is going to come down to the last very game because you have the extra playoff spot. Do you think teams start tanking earlier to make sure they get that number one spot? Because that number one spot is going to be a very pricey spot. Even number two is going to be pricey because number two probably going to Justin Fields.
Well, as I've started to learn in the NFL, there's no such thing as quote unquote tanking. However, I believe GMs say, I'm going to remove a lot of stuff from the team that are valuable assets, and I'm going to make you play with what you have. Now, the Jaguars and the almost said it. The Jaguars and the football team are walking testimonies of, hey, these guys are here to play. They both won. So I don't know if tanking would happen earlier for some teams. However, I do know at some point you do have to say, season is lost. Let's play all of the young guys. And at that point, yeah, teams may start playing younger guys sooner, especially with the way injury reserve is shaped up this year. Let's just say all of a sudden I get a lot of guys that pull their hamstring. And I say I'm going to put them on injury reserve for 3 weeks. You know, open up a roster spot or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So start tanking.
That's the new injured reserve. The injured reserve is 4 games. You have 2 different injured reserves now. It's crazy because that's the new rule they implemented and put in, and it just so happened COVID happened in there, and it's working for everyone. But me being a football guy, and I love football, and I love for every city, every NFL franchise to have a star. I feel they should have a star if it's a running back, wide receiver. But I think every franchise should at least have a franchise quarterback. It's better for the game that way. You know, and for me, I would like to see Trevor Lawrence maybe go to Atlanta. I don't know. Atlanta got me intrigued with Trevor Lawrence. But I would like to see Justin Fields go to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, boy. I would say that's a change of pace for them, but that would give them a better Baker Mayfield. type player. I'm not saying he's Baker. Nobody's Baker. Let's just go ahead and clear that up. Nobody's Baker. But that'll give them a Baker Mayfield type of player. Someone that he's mobile. He has mobility. Supposed to have the big arm and all that. I don't know if that would be well received in Cleveland, but I do believe it would be a lot better. But we will definitely know October 24th because I'm interested not so much in seeing how Trevor Lawrence does. I'm interested in seeing how Justin Fields does this next season. So it's going to be interesting one way or another, man. And I'm here for it. I'm here for whoever decides to quote unquote tank. That's what I'm here for. So real quick, Jay, before we close out the show, let's take a spin around the NFL Week 2 circuit. You got anything that you want to talk about? Any hot takes? Any savageness you want to participate in and decapitating some team fan base hopes of winning in Week 2? Or maybe you want to lift them up. I don't know.
I would like to lift up the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm going to tell you why. New Orleans Saints is a limping team coming in. So this is a game that you beware of. I have another beware game, but this is a one that you beware of. It's Monday night lights. We'll be introducing the Death Star. They're probably going to allow some type of fans to come into that place. This game on paper is saying, oh man, New Orleans going to win this. But it's just something in my soul that's saying, man, New Orleans going to lose. They don't have Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas has came out now. He switch every day. Now he's come out and say, oh yeah, I'm going to try and play Monday. Oh boy. This has the big feel for upset special. Like I can see it coming in, bro. Like, because the Raiders have a lot to play for. They have a lot of offensive weapons. Jacobs can run the ball. And right now, Alvin Kamara's, to me, he's worth the money he got, but he's not worth the money. Because he's just not having that same impact as he had when he first came in the league. Tampa shut him down, and I feel an upset brewing because Saints love to throw the ball. But Drew Brees is about familiarity. He's about his familiar targets to throw to. And right now, him and Sanders don't have rapport. The only other target is Jones and Jared Cook. Maybe Taysom Hill will have a huge game.
Maybe.
But that game right there has a bad feel. That game has a terrible feel. I mean, it's Monday night, and they opening up the Death Star on Monday night.
Well, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and throw this bone out to my Carolina Panther fan base. Keep pounding. Because, look, guys, it's a process, okay? You're not going to win every week. You're not going to win week 1. All right? You didn't win week 1. You're not going to win week 2. I'm just here for you. You know, and I'm a Jaguars fan. That's what I am. I'm a Jaguars fan. It's a great chance that Derrick Henry goes through us like a bowling ball the size of, I don't know, Megamind's head and knocks down all our players like pins. It's a great chance that happens. But this is all about keep pounding nation. Look, man, Teddy Bridgewater had a great game week 1. DJ Moore may be one of the greatest culprits ever to keep making you believe, but I believe in Robbie Anderson, actually. And that defense is putrid. It's putrid. I don't know if I would have went with the big guy up front in the draft, but you still have Brian Burns and Shaq Thompson. So look on the bright side of things, you know. You're facing a winless team this week, just like yourselves, and everyone's hungry. But the Buccaneers have something to prove here, you know, and they have Tom Brady, you know, and he's going to throw the ball a lot because of the defense. I wouldn't look for that run game too much. However, you got ran on last week. You got ran through last week. So remember, it's a process. You have a rookie head coach. Come on, man. Throw him a bone. I'm here for you. I think it'll be an interesting game. I think you'll put points up on the board. Because I'm not a big believer in this Tom Brady Buccaneers anyway. They're talented, but I'm not too sure about Tom Brady. But other than that, I'm looking forward to some Jaguars football. Even though I think Derrick Henry has the potential to do that to us this week, I think we're gonna steal another win. That's what I think.
So you think your Jaguars, who's just been a floor mat for the Tennessee Titans, are gonna change the tides this weekend?
Hey man, and we have not won Nashville since 2013.
Oh, I know.
But it's 2020, and every damn thing is upside down. So why not us? That's what I'm going for this year. Why not us?
You do have a good point. But this weekend, forget about it.
Hater. You're a hater. I'd never do your 49ers like that. I never say your 49ers are dumpster juice. I'd never say that. I'd never say Jimmy Garoppolo is a dud. I never say that.
You think so? You're saying dumpster juice. I mean, let me tell you, man. Derrick Henry owns y'all.
What? Come on, he just started running a season and a half ago, okay?
But he had some of his best career games against y'all. If it so happened, I don't know, man. That's a tough out because he plays substantially at a different level against you guys. And a couple years ago, he was having a so-so season until he played you guys. And then his season just took off. I don't know, man. And these guys haven't hit Derrick Henry before. This is a new group of guys on the other side of the defense. They haven't hit Derrick Henry before.
That's right. They have not hit Derrick Henry before. And Derrick Henry has not seen them hit before. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you know what? If we somehow lose to the Titans, it's not going to be by the legs of Derrick Henry. Maybe it'll be by the arm of Tannehill. Or maybe it'll be by the arm of Gardner Minshew blowing the game. But there's three things. Three things. I believe Gardner is good. I believe Jaguars. Now, I didn't say he's great. I believe he's good. I believe he works for the system. I believe the Jaguars have a good aura around this year. You don't have any of that Jalen Ramsey and any of that 2.0 or any of that Lenny Fournette. You don't have any of that because they've all been shipped out. By the way, shout out to Ronnie Harrison for getting toasted last night during that game against the Bengals. But back to the Jaguars. You don't have any of that negativity out there. So I believe they're buying into the team. And third, I'm sipping the Kool-Aid, man. It's 2020. Why not us? I'm sure the Miami Heat didn't think they would be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals or the Denver Nuggets. Last year, the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup. Why not us? Why not us?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm speechless on that one, brother. Because I don't think you have I think you have a chance to beat the Titans, but you gotta stop. You gotta stop that roll. You gotta stop that bus from rolling. And if that bus gets steam, look out.
Man, the only person that gets steam is the one we haven't mentioned tonight, and that's Steam Pipe Andy. Look, it's been a great episode. Steam Pipe Andy had to make an appearance. If you don't like us calling him Steam Pipe Andy, tell him to take that shield off. I hope he don't wear it this week. But I hope you wear your role player orange and your role player black, because it's going down Sunday and it's definitely going up Saturday. That's where you can find the show. Saturday morning, go ahead, play this. You're probably already playing it if you're listening to this at this point. It's been a heck of an episode. You know where to find us at on the platforms. You know where to find us at on social media platforms. You know that I am Byron. You know that he is Jay. You know that we are the role players. We're here to be the voice of the men that have little to no voice out there, and the women that have little to no voice in this sports mecca of 2020. It's been a heck of a show. Thanks for listening. Come back next week. Drop us some lines on social media. And we are looking forward, because we are rolling out.